Newsflash, Instagram's not going to cut it for you. If you think that it's growing your business, I am going to suggest to you that it's not. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. My name is Heather Coules, if you've not met me before, and I help salons build and grow their business through increasing their reputation, building their in-salon culture, and connecting authentically with their communities. So I'm going to catch you on the inside. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit the notification button because I got a bunch of new fun stuff we're going to be doing soon. See you inside. So I just wanted to pop on here. It's Monday, and I'm going to come on every Monday, and I'm going to talk about a few things. Today, I want to tell you what I did. I sat in with a group of world-class marketers and creators, and really, isn't that what we all are? Isn't that what you are? It's what I am. And was listening to them talk about what it takes and how you connect to people today and what type of marketing salons should be doing, or I should be doing, or anybody should doing, because things have just changed a little bit. So I'm sitting in there and I'm listening to Tatiana Hollingfield. If you're not following her, if you want to see somebody who's doing something fresh and something different, she's like the marketing queen. She and Seth Godin and just a ton of just people smarter than me, you know? I think we should all be lifelong learners. And it was interesting to me because of all the things that came up. And I'm talking about, I probably sat in a classroom with, I don't know, a dozen of just astounding people who are really doing things that are fresh today, talking about things like the metaverse and what type of media people are attracted to and how to really get the attention of the people that you're trying to get attention of. And is it necessary for you to get the attention of absolutely everybody? And as we were going through, and they're talking about, the usual TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, and it was funny. Instagram never even came up as a suggestion or a method of reaching your ideal client. But you know what did come up an awful lot? Email. And I've said it for a long time. I've really purported it, and I know that I've argued with many of you about this, that, nobody opens email and no point in email, and I hate getting email and my email's full of spam. That may well be true, but it is something that when you are mailing out a newsletter or that type of thing, you will get several times. People might see you, they might toss you out, it might work open 1 in 10, but they see that point of connection. Because what came up, and on that note, I might add, it really made me go to my email list, because I do email out a newsletter or articles or things that I stumble across in my journey of life that I think might be interesting for y'all. And I mail them out to my list, but I send the same email out to absolutely everybody, which is not very personal at all. And so as they start talking about personalization came up all the time, and treating people like the human beings that they are, and acting ourselves like the human beings that we are, without polish, without shine, just with the authenticness that is yourself. And I went through all of the emails that I've been sending out to see how many got opened and who was really paying attention. But it really did bring home the idea of personalization. So I have a couple of questions for you and a couple of tips for you, or things that you might want to try, because we are in sort of a different time right now where having connections and authentic community is actually a better business builder, no matter what business that you are in, than being perfect and polished. Highly recommend that you go and you follow this Tatiana Hollingfield. She was just quite amazing. So I want to ask you, building your reputation, again, something that came up a lot, like who are you when, what do they say about you? What would be the adjective that they would use in a sentence when they were talking about your salon and your people? Do you do things like, do you reach out to your clients after their appointments? I know that a lot of you do, and that's really great. And sometimes for a lot of you, it's hit and miss. But imagine the difference that it does make when you've gone. I don't know if you've ever been on the receiving end of a call. I know we all get the emails, like after you've had a contact with your bank, you'll notice they send you out an email. Tell us how we did today. And hey, at least you're asking. But to send out a personalized email or a message, or nobody phones anymore, that would almost be considered rude now. Isn't that weird? But do you reach out after that you have talked to them? What if you gave your clients something to talk about other than the hair that you gave them? What if they said, yeah, I got my call from my hairdresser today just to check out to see how everything went. I mean, on one hand, you're scared maybe it didn't go good and they might tell you. That's kind of good to know anyway, but I can relate to that even being in the salon. Sometimes you're just glad to get them out the door. But I think reaching out to them really does create building your reputation. An authentic connection. Like, what are you doing to sort of create any kind of authentic connection? You know what doesn't create authentic connection? Before and after pictures. I know you have to, you don't actually have to do it. I think, like, Instagram didn't even come up. And when you're on Instagram, you might think that's where I get a lot of my clients from. But a lot of times the people that you're reaching on Instagram are people that who are already following you. How much better would it be to get on your clients' Instagram? That's not really very hard to do, and it's much better market. If you were to have an area where you took pictures and asked your client, here, let's put that on your phone and post it on your social media and tag me in it, and you'll show up on mine. At least now you're in front of your audience as well as hers. So I do definitely recommend that. But what about some authentic connection? What about just, popping on a quick live on your Instagram? Like, how cool would that be? Or in your email. So I do suggest, I know I go on and on about it, just run a draw. What if you did this? Idea number 2, how about you asked your clients how they prefer to be in contact with? So that we can just get rid of all the excuses, whether it's, I don't want to contact like that, or I feel bad, I don't want to jump into somebody's DM. Maybe you like it when people jump into your DM. I hate it. I would rather get an email from you so I can just deal with things on my own time. But what if you just, as the clients left, ask them how they would like to be contacted from you? And they'll just simply tell you, DM, text me, email me, tell them what for. But I definitely recommend that. And I do think it's super easy, way easier than you think, to just do a little 5-second video and email that out saying, hey, thanks very much for coming into my salon today. I hope that everything worked out for you good. Make sure that you remember to give us a call if anything happens, or if anything's wrong with your, you can't manage your hair or whatnot. Pretty soon they would be talking about you. They would absolutely be talking about you. Talk about connecting, personalization, live streaming, gaming, TikTok, and YouTube. Again, Instagram didn't even come up. Neither did Facebook. Yet here we are. So I just want you to think a little bit about that today. Oh, and just as a side note, when I went through all of my emails to see who was opening or who was paying attention to what things that I was saying, instead of just randomly, emailing everybody, everything, the thing that got opened the most and that I got responded to and had questions about the most was whenever I mentioned marketing or emailing or how to get a hold of customers or how to grow your business. So I know that even the busiest of you out there are just not really too sure if you're as busy as you'd like to be. So that's it for me today. I'm out. And okay, well, listen, have a good night, you guys, and I will talk to you next week.